All right, you guys, welcome back to another video. So by the title, you guys already know what this video is about. I have been waiting to make this video for an entire year, you guys. Every time I tried to film this video, I would start feeling like I was going to cry. I was starting to get emotional. So I waited until this 1 year anniversary of me being single in order to tell this story, because I want to go ahead and dead it. Y'all already know who he is, because I would give y'all snippets and bits over the last 2 years of who I was dating, what the situation was, but I want to go ahead and dead it so I can move on with my life. So y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So me and Byron's relationship started January 2020. That is when I met him. We didn't actually get into a relationship until February 14th. When I met him, I was just getting out of a relationship with this guy named Marcus. A whole different video for a whole different day, because that was a crazy ass situation. Had just got out of a relationship like the month prior, so I was really just having fun, chilling, you know, just relaxing. However, so I ghosted him for 2 weeks. When we started talking, y'all, this is when we fell in love, like high school type shit. We on the phone for 6, 8 hours, 24 hours at a time, getting to know each other, falling asleep on the phone. Like, it was serious to me. Like, this is my first time feeling actual genuine love, y'all, like dead ass. So I understand he was going through some situations with his apartment, so I ended up letting him move in with me. Yes, y'all, that's red flag number 1. Moving a nigga in within a month of knowing him, I should have thought long and hard about that. So, y'all, in the midst of him moving in, he ended up bringing his dog. Now, I always fall in love with people's pets before I fall in love with them, but he had already let me know, you know, like, the dog not trained, this, that, and the third. The dog do what he want. And I'm just like, okay, it can't be that bad. Y'all, it was that bad. The dog tore my house up not once, but fucking twice. It was pillow stuffing all on the floor. The dog had ate up Jenga pieces of my damn Jenga game, like chewed up the fucking wooden pieces. He had threw up from one end of the house to the other trying to eat fucking Valentine's Day chocolate. It was just a bad situation. So, y'all, knowing that this man had this dog as an emotional support pet, I tried to work with this dog for 4 months. We got shot collars. We ended up getting like goddamn dog books, putting him in obedience classes, trying to spray the dog. You know, we did a whole bunch to try to like work with this dog. However, it was not getting no better. And I tried to work with the dog because, again, it was his emotional support animal. He really didn't have nobody that felt like unconditional love. So I worked with the dog for 4 months. In the midst of that, y'all, we would get into arguments, and this is where I should have ended it here, but I stayed. Like, I was so in love, y'all, like, no cap. We would get into arguments, and it would be emotionally draining, physically draining, mentally draining on me, because I'm dealing with somebody that, you know, he's not stable mentally or emotionally. Like, he has a lot of shit that went on in his life where it made him how he was, like, growing up without both of your parents. And I'm not going to go into what happened to his parents, because that's just not my place to do. But he grew up with no parents, and having his sister only and her husband, and those were his parental figures. So dealing with that, you know, I sympathize with that. Like, I wanted my family to be his family, and like I wanted it to be genuine so bad. So I'm sitting over here dealing with a man, you know, yelling, screaming, walking out the house. I'm walking out the house. Like, it was a very toxic situation starting out. So in the midst of all that happened, COVID happened. So we in the house together. We really trying to work on our situation. He really didn't have a lot of money. Like, he had a lot going on. You know, he didn't really have no credit. Car note too damn high, missing car note payments, missing rent payments, like almost getting evicted out his last apartment. That's why he moved in with me. And like, I sympathize with that, because I had so much love for this man. And that's the type of person I am, y'all. Like, I'm a lover girl. Like, I'm a hopeless romantic. That's the type of person I am. I see the potential in people. I see what people could be. I see people for having a good heart. No matter what the case is, no matter how they do me, I still try to see the best in the situation. So essentially, it was real toxic. I'm getting, you know, mentally and verbally abused. And I'm not gonna really call it abuse, but in my mind, that's what it was. Like, I should have left the situation right when that happened. However, we understood it's possible that he may have been getting ready to get deployed to the border, where in Texas. So we ended up moving. He was like, in order for me to move, like, it was a situation where he would always want to be out with his homeboys all night, like come back at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was not having that because y'all, if y'all know me, or for people that don't know me, it's really hard for me to fall asleep at night. Like, when people just lay down, some people just can go right to sleep. Me, it takes like an hour, 2 hours for me to just drift off to sleep. I have to take medicine or goddamn a whole lot of other shit in order to fall asleep. So once I fall asleep, I don't want my door open. In the apartment that I lived in at the time, when you open up the door, like, that shit make a loud ass noise. That shit needed WD-40, my nigga. Like, that's how bad that shit was. So I'm letting him know, like, wherever you at, just stay there that night and just come back home later than that. I'm like, you can't come home. That he took that as me kicking him out or not letting him come home. And I'm just like, bro, you in a relationship, you can't be out to 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. This ain't never gonna be that. You want to be at your homeboy house drinking all the time. And then when me and my ex got together, he was drinking heavily, like heavily fucking drinking. So it was like a serious problem for me, and I should have left the situation then. But again, blinded by love, y'all. So we ended up moving. He was like, I want my name on the lease. Like, I don't want you to feel like you can put me out, this, that, and the third. Okay, bet. He getting ready to get deployed. Like, it's confirmed. He leaving on such and such a day. Okay, well, I'm going to, go ahead, put my name on the lease because we might be able to get the little housing allowance or something. But come to find out, you got to be married. We were not married. So he ends up getting ready to leave or whatever, and y'all, like, it's not no better. We still arguing, carrying on. I'm like getting ready to walk out the apartment and fucking leave, and he's just like, I don't give a fuck, like, you can leave, I don't care, this, that, and the third. Should have left then, y'all, but I didn't. The house was not put together. We didn't have no furniture. Like, I had to like fight to find furniture because it was not well put together. So y'all, as he's getting ready to leave, you thinking that this man will have it together where, okay, I know I gotta pay for PT stuff, I know I gotta pay my phone bill. Your money's not all the way together, or better, you don't know how to budget. So this is where, y'all, in the beginning, this is why I stressed being feminine. That's why I went on my feminine journey when we did break up the first time, because I was like vibrating in my masculine energy. It was so fucking draining because I gotta make sure you got your shit together. I gotta make sure everything's done and you're not stressed. I'm trying to be there for you and still do my own fucking thing. It was really hard, y'all. So literally, we arguing and whatnot, whatever. I ended up getting a cat before he leave because I need some in order to be home. Like, I want to have something to come home to. So, y'all, when we moved into our new apartment, the door looked like it had been kicked in. Like, when we would lock the door and close the door, normally you would go back and twist the door to make sure that you locked it. The door would push back like a ½ inch to an inch. If you would have kicked, you would have been in my apartment. Like, the walls are so thin in my old apartment, like my second apartment, to where the point is you can hear somebody breathing on the other side of the door. So I was real paranoid. So I'm like asking him, he's like, you don't trust that I can get anything done. You treat me like, I can't be a man, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay. So I adapted something else. Okay, I'm going to let you leave. I'm going to see if you can handle it. Okay, you see the door fucked up. Before you leave, can you get this handled? You're here, you're on vacation, or better, he wasn't even on vacation. They were just letting them work from home. They would go in for a week and then be at home for a week, and then go in for a week and be home for a week. The entire week that the man was at home, he never did anything but play the fucking game. And that's the part that really irritated me is, y'all know how I am. I'm real ambitious. I got shit going on. I wanted somebody that was as ambitious as me. But because you're so involved in this relationship and so thinking about this relationship, you can't vibrate on your own. It's like I'm your source of happiness, and I don't like that. So I give it like a few days, seeing if he gonna call about the door. He at home. Somebody got to be at home in order for them to change the door, fix the door, whatever. He never fucking do it. So then I had to do it. So I had an attitude about it, y'all. This is where more arguing came. So something's telling me like he leaving, going to hang out with his best friend. Here's where it got tricky, because I have a male best friend. He had a female best friend. Me and my male friend, best friend, was never on that type of time. Like, he wouldn't be calling me all times of the night. He wouldn't be, you know, none of that type stuff would he be doing. Being disrespectful, us hanging out by ourselves, weird ass text messages, none of that. So whenever we would have problems, I tried my best to try to keep my family out of it. And this is where the toxic relationship with my sister comes in, because I would tell my sister stuff, or it would be shit going on with my sister, and my ex Byron was like, you need to stay the fuck up out there. Like, you don't need to be dealing with that. You don't need to, like, this ain't your fight to deal with. Like, I'm tired of hearing about it. Your sister act like she don't like me, this, that, and the third. Like, she want me to help her move and shit, but she ain't treating me how she need to be treating me. Like, you need to nip that in the bud. And that is my fault. I take accountability for the shit that I did not do in that relationship. So in the midst of, you know, him leaving and shit, I'm really trying to work on that. I was trying to work on that before he left, like trying to put some respect on his name as far as my sister, check my sister on a lot of shit. But at the same time, eventually I stopped telling my family altogether about our issues that we were having. I would prefer to have my relationship behind my door, meaning that nobody else needed to know, nobody need to have an opinion of me that was not valid, because they're only hearing one side of the story. So y'all, that was that. So I'm having a gut feeling, y'all. I'm having a gut feeling, like, y'all, at this time, like, the arguing that we doing, we really not sleeping together. Our sex life is not good. I'm not gonna cap to you guys, it was not. It never really was. Like, in the beginning, absolutely, like, shit was great, but eventually, like, I'm realizing that my ex is not open-minded when it comes to sex. Like, he was very vanilla, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, that was not really what I wanted. However, we were still working on it. We were trying to communicate better. Like, we were really working on shit. He was in therapy, talking to his therapist and shit. Like, he was really working hard. Like, I'm not going to discredit him that at all. So, y'all, he gets ready to leave. He need to buy his PT stuff. He ain't got the money for it. I'm having to spot the money for it. He couldn't pay his phone bill before he left. I spot that. And something in the back of my mind, gut feeling, like, ask him about his female best friend, because, y'all, the understanding I have, and this is why I won't deal with guys that have female best friends, unless your best friend, you've been knowing her since kindergarten, I'm not dealing with it, because 9 out of 10, you try to get with her. She didn't want you. She friend zoned you. So you settle for being the best friend until something dramatic happens and she cries to you, and all of a sudden you can slide your way in there. I don't like that. So something's like, ask him about it. Like, so we had each other's code to our phones. Like, he had my code, I had his code. I knew his code. His code was the same thing for his goddamn, the first 4 digits for his PIN on his card. When you got ready to log into his banking information, it was the same fucking thing. Like, dude, like, I know your shit. Like, you gave it to me. So if you can't allow your significant other to look through your phone and you gave them the code, what was the point of giving them the code? That is my fuck up number 2. I should have never went through this man's phone. But when I asked him, he lied dead to my motherfucking face. And that is the moment where I should have broken up with him. I didn't say nothing right away, y'all. I'm looking through the text messages. This girl having the nerves to say, oh, well, you know, she knew what she signed up for. She ain't supporting you being in the military, wanting to continue to be in the military. Pause. I didn't have a problem with this man being in the military. I just wanted my partner safe. Yes, I want you to do what you love, do the shit that you know, whatever passion that you got, whatever you see yourself doing, I want you to do it to the fullest, but I want you to be safe too. So he wanted to be a firefighter. Absolutely. Babe, go do that. I don't have an issue with that. I'll take on the bills for the 8-10 weeks that you got to be in fire school. No problem. We had already had the conversation. So for you to be texting her, telling her this, that, and the third, making it seem like I don't support you in nothing, that's a lie, my guy. Like, what was the point of you lying? So she, instead of you being the best friend, this is how I knew something was up. Instead of you being the best friend and being like, oh, well, you know, I believe in you, this, that, and the third, like, so on and so forth. You are comparing the two of us. Like, the female comparing me and her, like, oh, she ain't gonna be there for you, I be there for you. If she not gonna do this, I do this for you. Like, the fuck is you talking about, girl? Like, Where the fuck is your antennas at since you so supportive and you gonna be here for him instead of me being here for him? Where the fuck was you at when he need his PT shit paid? Where the fuck was you when this nigga need his phone bill paid? Where the fuck was you when we were moving and all this other shit? Never met the bitch in my life, and that's the point. That's why I can't stand fake people, y'all. Because this bitch, soon as we got together, oh, I'm just so happy that y'all together, this, that, and the third. My girl, you don't have to be fake in my face at all. You don't have to say nothing to me. My best friend didn't come DM Byron. It was like, oh, I'm just so happy that you with Drea. Like, I'm so happy that y'all together. I want to meet you. We gonna be the best of friends, this, that, and the third. It was never that. And then when I looked this female up, I don't judge nobody. I have a problem with nobody. However, this female was like fucking 2-3 years younger than me. And she's on social media in the shower, emojis over her ass and titties in the shower. She's on Facebook and Instagram in her underwear, and it's just like a whole lot of graphic shit. I've never been that female. You will never catch a video of me twerking or a picture of me in my underwear at all, or naked at fucking that. So, you know, I'm cool that you best friends with him, but I can't vibe with you like that. I'm older than the both of y'all. I'm older by a year with him, and I'm older by 2-3 years with you. You're supposed to be, you know, having fun, doing hot girl shit. Absolutely, but that's not what type of time I'm on. I'm trying to be a wife. I'm trying to be a good girlfriend. Like, I have plans for where I want to go in my relationship, and you don't align with that as far as being a close friend. So no, I can't be friends with you. That hurt that girl. Like, oh, she judged me, this, that, and the third. Girl, I don't give no fucks about you. The problem that I have with you, and the problem that I still have to this day, is the fact that you sat over here and tried to compare us. You sending this man hard eyes, kissy faces, all this other shit. And it's like, girl, do you want my man? If so, come get him. But in the meantime, in between time, bitch, run me my coin back for all the shit that I did for him, since you gonna do it. Oh, okay then, queen. So that happened. I asked that nigga. I remember the day that I asked him. We were driving in Hoover going to Culver's, which is a restaurant, and we were right there on the edge where Eggers is. Anybody live in Birmingham, y'all know what the fuck that's at. That's over there by Hoover High School in Hoover, Alabama. We were turning up out there in order to turn to go get on the interstate, because we lived on 280 now. When I tell y'all, I asked this man, look this man dead in his eye, and y'all know I don't make direct eye contact with nobody. Do you be talking to anybody about our business? No. Do you be talking to your best friend about our business? Now, granted, y'all already knew what it was. I had already took pictures, screenshots, all that shit, and sent it to my motherfucking self. So how you gonna sit up here and lie to me? He lied. I never said nothing. I waited months to say something. So he leaves in like October, the beginning of October, y'all. He leaves. The door is still a motherfucking issue. He didn't try to put like a deadbolt, a motherfucking chain on the door. And I'm telling him, like, on the phone with him, we talking like the first couple of days that he get there. He's saying he's homesick and shit. Like, you know, it's just a lot going on. He had high blood pressure and shit, like all that. Because I ended up having to take off work in order to drive him to Jacksonville, Alabama, in order to take him to his unit so that they could go ahead and go to McAllen, Texas. So drive him there, or he drives there. So we drive there. I had to drive his car back, which was crazy. Like, I think his car, he ended up leaving his car there. I had to go all the way back and go get his car. So that was that, y'all. The man ended up breaking up with me within like 2 weeks of him being there, because I'm talking about the door, how unsafe I feel. This man has the nerves to say, well, you need to watch your surroundings when you outside. Like, there's nothing that I can do. You need to watch your surroundings, this and that third. And I'm just like, as a black woman, I do that anyways, because we are the minority. You're going to have to watch your surroundings regardless. I'm a female. I had been living by myself an entire year prior to that. So I have to watch my surroundings because I'm at home by myself. So instead of you coming up with a solution, you going to tell me that, oh, well, I can have my homeboys drive past the crib. Why would you want your homeboys driving past the crib to protect your female? That sound crazy as fuck. That man was like, I just got too much going on. I'm just too stressed. You know what? I can't do this. We can't be in a relationship. Basically left me for dead. At that fucking moment, we should have never got back together, y'all. And that was the point. Like, I wanted to get back with him. Like, we were still communicating and shit after the fact. And, like, eventually, I took that time out to really get into my feminine energy. So we broke up like October something. I spent the next November, December, January, February, March. I spent the last, November, December, January, February, March. The last 5 months of that time working on myself, really figuring out what it is that I wanted to do. I was dating older men that were, paying my bills, that was giving me money just to hang out with them. Spending $1,500 on a bag for my birthday. Like, if y'all go on my TikTok is the same name as my Instagram and my YouTube. Except it's Drea J on it. All the same shit. If y'all go there and see the flowers, see the birthday cake, see all the money, that is the time period of which I was dating more affluent people, understanding that I don't have to be this masculine woman. Like, I can let men lead. I can let men pay for shit. I don't have to pay for everything, do everything, because essentially I was doing everything. So, y'all, in the midst of that, all that happened. So we're gonna pause it here and do a part 2 to the video. So I'll be back in a second.